Hey guys, yeah, I just wanted to come on here, give you a bit of a vlog as to what's been going on over the past week or so. As of today, it's been about a week and a half. I will start off by saying this. It's been about a week and a half since I've had my new bed, and it's actually been very good. It's been very good to me. I know that sounds a little weird to say, but it's actually been very good for me to utilize and lay on and sleep on. Um, Mainly because of the fact that, like I said about the futon basically was, as you probably saw in the previous videos, its time had come. I mean, it was basically like, I'll put it this way: it's seen better days. It has seen better days. Um, but what mainly the real reason I just finally decided to stop holding off on getting a new bed and everything was the fact that right around here with the futon, the hole that there was a big old hole right here, and it was sinking in. It was sinking in and kind of spreading a little bit to the rest of the bed, or to the rest of this side of the futon. And mainly, I felt that sooner or later I was going to fall right through and right into the little small storage area, bunker, if you will, that it had connected to it. Basically, there was like a little storage area that when you lift up the futon, you can put stuff under there. And then if you need to get that stuff, you just lift the bottom of the futon and get it out. Yeah, basically it felt like I was close to sinking into that. Despite my efforts to try to make things more comfortable, I guess you could say temporary, if you will, for comfort. Like I said, tried to make things, I tried to basically kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I basically tried to rig it as best I could to make it comfortable for me till the time was right to get something else. But like I said, but like I said, I basically started to notice that, you know, I felt like I was gonna fall through that hole. So I said, enough's enough, and I just finally decided to get a new bed, and the rest is history. And as far as the futon, as you all saw, I took it apart. And that was the one thing that did kind of hold me and my mom back a little bit, from allowing me to go from basically getting a new bed fully in here. Well, mostly me, not just my mom, but mostly me. It was basically it was my unsureness and a little bit of hers, but mostly my unsureness of how to take apart the futon. And when my second older sister said, "Oh, that's easy, just get an Allen wrench and all that, and you're fine." So I checked both sides of the futon, and I noticed what she was talking about. So what I did is I got a set of Allen wrenches that my mom had, and I got one of the adjustable adjustable pliers and the wrenches, and lo and behold, I was able to take it apart a lot easier than I expected. The only thing that kind of worried my mom a little bit is after I did that, it was how was I going to take it out? How was I going to take it out of the house? And I figured it out. I basically figured out that I would take the comforter we had in the closet that we use sometimes when my older nephew comes to stay tonight, or my second older nephew, I should say, comes to stay tonight if he chooses to do so. We took that, or I took that, I put it on there and moved it as best I can into a more open spaced area in the kitchen before taking it out the back and to the side of and to the right side of the house onto some tarps that I bought, for later on, which was basically that later on, which was basically me and my mom loading it up on two separate trips, loading up the pieces of the futon and even pieces of the now defunct of my now former chair, and driving it to my older sister so that my brother-in-law, her husband, can take it to the landfill, right between Newman and Crow's Landing. So, yeah, basically that's one of the main reasons I just decided to stop putting off getting a new bed, and just, finally get one, and finally get one in the house, and again, and basically it's been one of the best decisions I finally was able to follow through on, because over the past week and a half, the bed has been, like I said, I know it sounds cliche, it's been very good to me. It's been very comfortable to sleep on. And there are times that I don't really want to get up. I do not want to get up from that bed at all. It's kind of like with my mom. She has a queen size bed, And there are times that, on the weekends when she's off or on her vacation breaks, which she does have one upcoming in a couple of weeks, she does not want to get up. When she has a day off, like I said, with her, like Cesar Chavez, she has Cesar Chavez off next week, a week from today. I know she's not going to want to get up. She's not going to want to get up too early. Usually, like a lot of us out there, she'll, normally on a day off, even, she'll get up between 9 and 10. But I got a feeling she might sleep in just a bit longer. Not saying she will, but she might. But yeah, it's one of the, but it's kind of in that category is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of in that category of ever since I've had the bed, I've basically been, I've never, again, I know it sounds cliche, but I've never slept better in quite some time, to the point that I just don't really want to get up. I just want to stay on my bed and that's it. And as you can see, I did add some new stuff to it, and I'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, in the week and a half though that I've had this bed, I couldn't have been more happier about it. About finally getting it, into the, into my possession, and using it, and again, just having probably some of the best sleep I've had in quite some time. I'm not saying that the futon I had didn't do the job. Like I said, just for the fact that I rigged it as best I could to get it comfortable enough for me, it still allowed me to sleep, but not as comfortably as it used to, because like I said, over time, the hole that was in the futon on this side, if you will, started to basically sink even further and spread even further, to the point that, as I mentioned, I felt like I was going to fall through. So anyway, yeah, but over the past week and a half, I've actually come to, acknowledge it's been one of the best decisions I've made in quite some time, and I finally decided not to hold off on. Kind of like with the dentist thing, a lot of my family and even those here on the tube at times would point out, when are you going to get these taken care of? And I finally decided that the time is going to be very, very soon. I'm not saying it's going to be like tomorrow or anything like that, but it's going to be in the very near future, because there's two places that I took notice of over the weekend that I basically feel are probably, it's almost like God's telling me these are the areas, these are the two dental places you have to look into to get everything done. Because the plan basically very soon down the line is to get veneers, not dentures or anything, but veneers, implants, if you will, so that I can have normal teeth again, if as in the future. So yeah, so basically that's the next step for me. Very soon is to get these taken care of, and I will. There's no doubt. It's, like I said, it's gonna probably happen a lot sooner just than people expect. I just got to do a little match pricing, basically like who's gonna give me the best option for payment, like monthly payment options and all that. So we'll see what happens. But besides that being like the next thing on my one of the next things on my list of agendas that I need to take care of, overall, getting back to the bed, it's definitely been the best decision I've made in quite some time. It definitely has been, and what I'm trying to say is I'm glad I didn't hold off on it any longer than I have. But as far as the rest of the week goes, this weekend, it was probably one of the busier weekends me and my mom and my family have had for a while. Last week, about this time last week, I called up Monte Vista Small Animal Hospital, and I scheduled an appointment for me and my mom's dog. And the reason I scheduled the appointment was she needed her shots. It's getting up to her expiration date for her license, her dog license and everything, a rabies license. So we knew we had to get so we were informed months ago we had to get the shots, right? But because of the whole COVID situation, we weren't sure how things were going to go, or things were going to be taken care of. So anyway, long story short, I made the appointment last Monday for this past Saturday. And for anybody that has yet to take their animal to the vet because maybe they have, shots due and they have to renew things, a lot of the vets, I'm pretty sure a lot of the small animal hospitals I'm pretty sure, are doing something very similar. And that is the fact that when you make the appointment, they're going to give you instructions of how, the whole procedure happens when you arrive at the veterinarian or the small animal hospital. Because what they told us was once you arrive, go to the front, park, or go to the front area, park in a certain area, if you will. Type in our number, or text in or basically go to your text messaging on your phone, type in our phone number, and then text us the number of the area you're parked in, so we can come and, you know, um, take care of things for you and for your animal. Basically, what I'm trying to say, so I can make it sound simpler, because I know it sounds like I'm rambling. Basically, when we arrived, we parked in front of the hospital, in front of the vets, if you will, and they had a sign. They had a sign up there that told us to text this number, and then in the message of the text, put in the number of the parking area, the area we were parked at, so they can come out. Like I said, take care of information. Take our animal and take care of what needs to be taken care of for her, which in this case was her Bonadella, her DAP, and her rabies shot, as well as get her nails trimmed and all that. So, that's what we did over the weekend. So that's what we did this past Saturday. Basically, we took our dog to get all that taken care of. And because of the whole COVID situation, it was a completely different experience, if you will, because essentially it was curbside. It was basically curbside service, if you will. But it was but as far as I know about curbside service, never once, never once did you have to park and tell them what number you're at. For any curbside service I've ever dealt with. Because when I would go to Burger King, honestly, to get food, I would just tell them in the message, "Oh, I'm walking there." I wouldn't say, "Oh, this is the number I'm at. Come where come to this number where I'm standing, or I have my bike at, or whatever." It would basically be like, I'm walking there, and they would be ready for it. So, they would be ready for me most of the time. But here, it's basically, like I said, they have this sign up that states, "Okay, type in our phone number, in your text messaging, and then text the number of the area you're parked at, so we can come out, greet you, fill out the paperwork, take your animal, do what we have to do to help your animal and everything, and then bring the animal back to you." And that's what they did. So yeah, that's what we did on Saturday. And the one thing about our dog, just like with our cat when she was around, is obviously they're the kind of animals, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, they're the kind of animals that are more domesticated, because once you take them out of the domesticated environment that they're used to, yeah, you start hearing some crying a little bit, you start hearing meowing, stuff like that, or barking, because they're not used to where they're at. They're not used to this change of scenery you put them in. But as soon as you leave the hospital or the vet after the appointment, they're more calmed down, they're more quieter, because they can sense that they're heading home. They can sense that they're heading home. And that's what our dog did. She would whine and cry a little bit. It's understandable. But when we would head back from the vet with her, she was calm. She was cool. She was calm and collective, because she knew she was heading home. There's only the only one thing that she does that perks her up a little bit, like, gets her a little, I wouldn't say emotional, but gets her a little excited, kind of perks her up, is when we're going down what's known as Las Palmas. We passed one street where we would turn to go to my older sister's. And it's like when we pass that one area, where we would turn to go to my older sister's, our dog perks up a little bit, like, "Oh, I know where we're at. I know where I'm at." Because when she was born at my older sister's, and she knows my older sister as being like her second master, because she raised her a little bit as a puppy before we took her and made her our own, if you know what I mean. So yeah, basically, that's what we did on the weekend. Not just the weekend overall, but that's one of the things we did on the weekend on Saturday. But then yesterday, well, going back to Saturday, that is Saturday night, my second older sister calls up, informs my mom about my older sister getting a one of her annual discounts that she gets for family and friends. And so originally, or normally, I should say, originally and normally, myself myself and the other guys, we don't normally go. Well, mainly I don't always go on these shopping sprees because it's normally just my mom, my sisters, and my niece. Well, this time around, my I found out that my second older sister's husband and my older sister's husband were going, so I figured, okay, I'll go too because I wouldn't feel out of place, right? I wouldn't feel too out of place, so I went with them. So I decided to go along as well. And then I noticed it wasn't just my my sister's husbands that were going, but it was also my second older, and third older nephew, and they were going as well. And we all went to the Kohl's because my older sister works at Kohl's, and every once in a while she, along with other associates of Kohl's, not just where she works, but all across the board, would get these discounts for family and friends. And she decided to, give us the and anytime I should say that this opportunity comes up, normally it's just her and my mom, my second older sister, and my niece. Here it was everybody. It was basically a family day out, is what it was. It was a family day out to shop and get things taken care of. And I decided to go because one, I had some money, and also the fact that I needed stuff for my bed because, as I said, the sheets that I normally had would basically go to one side. I think I said this earlier, but if I didn't, I do apologize. But the sheets would normally that I had on there, like the flat sheets, if you will, that you put yourself under. Basically, they would go to one side. They would go to one side, and I'm thinking, what the heck's going on here? This should be completely covering me, right? Nope, they would go to one side. So I decided, okay, something's off a little bit. And when this opportunity presented itself to me, I decided one of the things I'm going to do, excuse me, one of the things I'm going to do is get myself a new bed set, a new bed set to kind of basically make the bed 90% complete. Because the one thing my mom's got on me about a little bit is getting a box spring because it helps elevate the bed a little bit more. But the one thing I've noticed with, like I said earlier, that people care about mostly about, and it obviously is what the manufacturers and retailers care about more so than anything, is when they advertise like pieces of a bed to put together, like bed frames and everything. They talk about mattresses. They don't talk about box springs or anything. They talk about having a mattress for the bed frame. And I think that's pretty cool. Because at least they realize that the main priority for people when they're buying new beds and everything is to just have a mattress and something to put the mattress on. The bed spring they realize will come later. And that's probably what's going to happen with me. Is the bed spring's going to come later. Not bed spring, but the box spring, I should say, will come later down the line. Not right away, because, like I said, the only thing that matters to a retailer when they're advertising bed frames and all that is the mattress, because that's the one thing you may notice is the mattress being the main priority for for adding to a bed frame to lay on. So anyway, getting back on point here. Basically, I decided that I could take that opportunity to go along with them, to go shop, spend time with my family, get to see my great niece, who's at 7 months now, because she rarely sees me and my mom because, my niece lives in Modesto. We live here in Newman. So anyway, basically, I decided to take the opportunity, spend time with family, get to see my great niece, but also get, like I said, a new bed set for my bed. And normally this is about 120, about 119, 120, but because of the annual discount, or I wouldn't say annual, but occasional discount that my older sister gets at her job for family and friends, just like all the other Cole associates do apparently, or not apparently, but definitely do. I was able to get this for half of what it was. So that was pretty cool. And again, just got to spend time with family and friends and stuff. But the main priority for me was to get, a new bed set to kind of, like I said, make the bed 90% or 95% complete. But it wasn't the only thing I ended up getting either. I'll show you. It wasn't the only thing I ended up getting either. And I'll show you I'll first of all show you what it is. This is basically what the bed was. Well, this is basically what I got. This is obviously a Kohl's brand, and it's a 6-piece set, as you can see. So it's got a comforter, which is right there. It's got a sham. It's got a flat sheet, a fitted sheet, and 2 pillowcases. So that's basically what it has. So yeah, I was able to get that and everything. As a matter of fact, I'll show you basically what it is. If I can put the highlight on here for a second. This is what it is. So here's the comforter. There's one of the pillowcases right there. And then here's the other one. It has no pillow on it, but it does cover the sham that does have a pillow on it, which is pretty cool. And then of course underneath, we have the sheets and everything, which is really nice. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, basically that's what I ended up getting. And again, normally, hit the thing there. Normally it goes basically, as I adjust the camera here, guys, I do apologize. It goes for about $119. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you. I think the price is still on here somewhere. Yeah, the price is still on here. It's about right. It's right here. I don't know if you can really see that. Try to get that in view for you, but it's right there. It's about $119. I got it for 50% off, which is pretty cool. But like I said, that wasn't the only thing I ended up getting. I'm gonna take you guys on a little trip here for a second. For anybody that's listening to this on the podcast, I'm just showing people what I got here. But right here, I got this spring-like reef. It was the only one of this color that they had. They had other reefs as well, but I got the spring reef, if you will. And my mom liked it because it kind of matches the house a little bit. Because one of the things she did is she left a hook on the door. When it was Christmas, she would put all Christmas wreath out. So she left the wreath on the front door. Well, not the wreath, but the hook for the wreath on the front door, so she could put some seasonal ones. And this is one of them that she's going to put because, and this is one of them I should say. This is basically what I'm trying to say here. Well, I'm trying to say, sorry about that, guys. Fumbling my words here. I do apologize. But basically, this is one of the things she wants to do is take something like this and hang it on the hook on the front door as a seasonal wreath because she sees other people doing it and figures it's a great idea because you're kind of tying you're basically decorating your house a little bit more, making it feel more homey, if you will. And by having something like this, it ties in with like spring and all that, and the holidays are along with spring, like Easter, Mother's Day, stuff like that. And then over here are some of the things I got. So the only thing that wasn't 50% was the Levi's. I mean, these are Lee's. So they were like 48, so I got them for a lot less than that. It's like 24 or something like that, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, we'll get into these in a moment. I got some new socks. These are Hanes. These are crew ones. And these were half of what they were. So that's pretty cool. And then here, another Lee's. And these were half of what they were. And then these were Levi's. I forgot I had the Levi's on there and everything, which is okay. But they were actually 15% off. So still got a little bit of a discount on that, which I enjoyed. And then these here I got, Because one of the things that, you know, Kohl's and even my job and Target do is they get all these licensed shirts that they can help distribute. So I got this one right here, this Mickey one. I got the Mickey one right here. And then I got this Star Wars one. I wanted to get the one that just said Star Wars, which is like the one everybody wears. But apparently the only sizes they had were a little too big for me, or a little bigger than my average size. If I can get this open for a second. But yeah, that's... So sorry about all this rounding about, guys. So we'll put it right here. But yeah, that's basically the one. That's basically the Star Wars shirt that I ended up getting. In fact, I'll show you like right here. So this was the Star Wars shirt right here that I ended up getting. And then, like I said, I got this Mickey shirt as well. They had other ones, but I decided to go with this one because, you know, it's classic Mickey and, you know, it's kind of cool. And like I said, the socks and the pants and everything. The two Lee pants were 50%. The Levi one was 15%. Still pretty good. And then, sorry about all that too. But then, of course, to show you this real quickly. Then, of course, if I turn this on for a second, I ended up getting these. It looks like my mom did a little range in here or not. Maybe not. But these were at Kohl's. And what was funny is that when my sister was helping us check out, basically they joked about the fact that these were there. These were basically left over. Because of the COVID, they were late distributing them. So these probably got late to their area. So yeah, for about, whether $4.80, and for both we got 15-ounce chimeric mugs for Elf and Christmas Story, and then this one, no, Elf and Christmas Vacation, I should say, and then that one for Christmas Story, and then I got the Moose mug from Christmas Vacation as well, which was pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool to get that, and then I got this as well. So probably play that on Easter because, you know, we'll have a lot of time. Who knows? But yeah, overall, that's mainly what I did. And again, for anybody that's listening to this through the audio podcast, I was just showing off what I had, which were 3 new pants, which I got, which were 2 of them were Lee's. Those were 50% off. The Levi's was 15%. The shirts, the Mickey shirt, and the Star Wars shirt were 50%. The socks, the Hanes socks were 50%. The seasonal reef I got wasn't 50%, but it was still okay. And then, of course, the discounted mugs of the Elf mug, the chimeric mug of World's Greatest Cup of Coffee, the Mary Clarkmas mug, the Christmas lamp mug, and then the Moose mug from Christmas Vacation. So it's pretty cool to get those at decent prices that normally you wouldn't get, you normally wouldn't get at Christmas. And then, of course, one other thing I did buy, and I'll show you this in a second, but I'm going to mention it right now to you guys. Basically, I got 2 packs of 22, I got 22 packs of coffee, which I'm probably going to have to set up in a little bit anyway, of Dunkin' Donuts, which is always being advertised, and in the breakfast blend for Starbucks. So, as you can see right there. So, yeah. But yeah, I got that during the opportunity. And those are our neighbors or something like that. I do apologize. But yeah, I got that with the opportunity. And of course, it wasn't just me either. You know, my second oldest sister and her husband, they took a opportunity to get some stuff, as well as my oldest sister who does work there. Took an opportunity to get some things, and as well. You know, necessary stuff. My mom got some stuff too, and then of course my niece got some stuff. But also we got stuff for the baby because you know this is her, you know, going to be her first Easter and everything, and you know we decided to get her some. You know, my niece got her got her an Easter basket and all that, and then we kind of spoiled her. We all got her little toys and everything to take home, like little plushes because one of the things that happens, one of the things that you'll notice, I should say, not happens, but you'll notice when you walk in there, is they have this display of discounted Disney plushes. So my oldest sister, because it's her granddaughter, got her one of the Aristocats, the female. I think let me check see what character that is that she got her. And I'm trying to make sure. Trying to make sure I know which one it is. Let's see, try to get a voice here. Um, Marie. She got her the Marie cat. She got basically got her a plush of the aristocrat character Marie. I got her towards the end because you know I figured you know I'll get her something too. I got her Lady. I got her a Lady plush from Lady and the Tramp. My mom got her a Frozen Fever Elsa plush. So we kind of spoiled our niece and my great niece, her great granddaughter, if you will, because you know this is her first big shopping spree, if you will. She's not going to really remember it, but you know, until maybe her mom tells her about her or something like that. But yeah, we just decided to spoil her a little bit. And then of course, like I said, you know, we got some things we needed, and my sister, my second oldest sister, got stuff she needed not just for herself and her husband and her son and all that, but got stuff she wanted to get for like let's say the garden and all that. So really cool, just a really cool time. And then of course we went out and had dinner at Damien's in Modesto, which is a really great place. It's one of the rare places in California, or at least where we are, that's open in and outdoors. They still have the outdoor option if you want to eat on the patio, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people did, because there was only a few people at first when we showed up there that were eating. There was still, like I said, there was just a few people that were eating, basically, you know, indoors. I mean, there was still people. There were people coming in picking up orders. There were people coming in picking up orders. And there was some people coming in, like we had a group, like before we left, just a little before we left, we had a big old group of, big old family come in as well. So yeah, there were people coming in and dining in because of the, you know, because of the fact that it was open now and allowing you to do so. And it felt great. I'll tell you this, it felt great to finally dine in, you know, just dine in and eat normally. It felt great. I mean, yeah, we still had to wear our mask and everything when we get up, use the facilities and all that, but it felt great. And again, like I said, they had the outdoor option as well. But it was just phenomenal. It's just great to have the staff. They had the mask on and everything. They were doing everything right. So it was just fun to, you know, just get out and, you know, get out, spend time with family, and actually have a family dine-in, if you will, at a restaurant without having to worry, without having being told, oh, you can only eat outside, or you can only order and pick up and all that. So, and they still had those options because they know people are still very wary. But overall, it was actually a great time. It was actually a great time. But besides that, besides besides all that, everything was cool. I mean, we got everything. Like I said, we got everything taken care of. My sister actually, this is the truth. My sister, and I'm sure she's not the only one at Kohl's or any place that does this. You know, doing the discount days or whatever. My sister actually had to make sure she got to the right person. When we were checking out, she had to make sure she got the right person that would work with her. Because normally, and I'm sure anybody that works at Kohl's or any place similar to them knows this, when you do the discount days with your family and friends, you're the one that's responsible for paying for everything. And my sister's like, I ain't gonna. My oldest sister's like, I ain't doing that. I've been doing this too long. I'm not doing that. So she decided that she would figure out a way to do it, or figure out some way to get somebody that would kind of work with her And that's how we were, and that's what she did. She was able to get somebody that understood. Hey, look, this is my family. They're gonna pay for their own stuff. Da da da. And there you go. So it's kind of like when we went out to dinner. It's like, we had separate checks. Like my older sister was paying for her husband, her son, and her daughter. I should say, not her niece, but her daughter. The same with my second older sister. She was paying for her husband, and their son. And then at first they're thinking, oh, my mom's going to be on my older sister's check, right? Or she's going to pay for her own. I said, oh, no, 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 I'll take care of it. So I pay for me and my mom because I had the money. So I figured, I have the money. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pay for her. So that way she doesn't have to spend anything. So, yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of like that in a sense when we were checking out at Kohl's. Like, we were all paying for our own items. My sister wasn't paying for all of it, but she had to find somebody she could work that would work with her and understand that. And thank God she did. Because she'd been doing it for quite some time now. She kind of like, she understands. She kind of knows what she has to do. So we took care of that, and everything turned out okay, and that was taken care of. We got some Kohl's cash, if you will, that we could spend up until about, I guess, the 3rd, which is next week. So definitely have to utilize that hopefully soon. And it was kind of almost in a sense, not only was it a family day out shopping and dining and all that, but it was also basically, I guess you could say, something that was I looked at as being a tradition for my family ever since I was a kid, and it's probably and it's obviously a tradition for any family, and that's Easter shopping. You want to get some new stuff for Easter and everything, and obviously with me getting my Michael Jackson shirts and t-shirts that I did, and getting some new pants, I kind of did that for myself. But anyway, though, that's kind of what we did, and then to close out this audio blog, if you will. I had to choose some changing up with YouTube. Yeah. YouTube, and I guess this is kind of screwing some people up because Josh Scorcher kind of who's known as Firebrand of Fob Equestria, FOB Equestria. That's his other channel. Josh Scorcher and Fool is one of his gaming channel, mainly is now his gaming channel. But basically YouTube was holding off on my payments. I think I was supposed to get a payment early because the 21st fell on a Sunday, which was yesterday. So they were holding I should say, early deposits of my payment, and mainly what it was for tax reasonings. It was tax reasonings, and they informed me before this. So I took all the necessary measures to see if I can get my money. I scanned my ID, my state ID, and I think maybe what I did is instead of, just leaving it as it is, I kind of edited to it look, kind of decent so that they could see it. That didn't work. So I rescanned it again. So I basically took the original scan, sent it to them like that. That didn't work. And then I noticed, oh, I need to change. And I got to give a shout out to Alex Hicks, just Alex, here on YouTube, formerly Deluxe Man. Basically, I had to. Sorry about that. The thing died on me. But like I said, I basically had to rename my YouTube account to my real name, to Brian Walmer, instead of BWSS, because basically they needed to match up the information address-wise and all that, state ID-wise and everything. They had to match that all up to make sure I was approved for like tax information and all that, because it's tax season, and this is my first tax season basically monetizing my channel. So I did that, and like I said, basically what it was is that, as I was mentioning, I scanned my ID, edited it a little bit so they could see it better. That didn't work. I sent them the original scan. That didn't work. And then I renamed my account, and also I renamed my account under my real name, as well as kind of edited the payment information for the address to my real name, and that worked. after all that, third time, as they would say, is the charm. So by finally resubmitting the original scan, kind of resubmitting the ID, state ID, but resubmitting for the second time the original scan of my ID, my state ID, and then along with it, basically changing my YouTube name to, and I just noticed something fell down. I have to get it, but but basically changing my YouTube name to my real name from BW Roses to Brian Walmer. Only finally was it able to be approved, my tax information, because it's tax season. And because of that, basically, um, now I was able to reach, what I'm trying to say is I was able to rechange my YouTube name from my real name back to BW Roses. That's what I was trying to say, because I'm still distracted. One of my pictures fell down and all that, so I have to put that back up. But like I said, I had to rename my YouTube username to my real name and then change it back after everything was approved. So that was the only other thing about this week that was kind of like up and down a little bit. Because again, like I said, it's the first year, the first tax season, if you will, that I've monetized my channel. I've never had to worry about that before until now. But anyway, though, guys, that's really all that's been going on. And I know this thing's been going on a lot longer. This vlog, audio blog, if you will, has been going a lot longer than it should. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. Let me know in the live chat during the premiere. What are your thoughts on what I've had to say here? You know, let me know if you've had to go through things like what I've just mentioned. You know, whether you've had people that have had opportunities to give you discounts, family and friend rides because of their job. Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Love to hear from each and every one of you. Let me know if you've had to go through the situation that I've had to go through with YouTube. And that's about it. So till next time, guys, God bless. Take care. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. And I am out.